Music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can save even more with 15% off their IKEA purchase when they sign up for IKEA Family for free. Visit IKEA Oak Creek, IKEA Schaumburg, or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more. Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Brust and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The bag is packed with the sticks. The drinks are cold. And the scorecard's ready to go. Time to hit the links.
I know I already picked Xander, but I hope that my second Gruber Law Office's one call that's all pick is the golf course. I want to see carnage this week.
It's time to go on the tee.
We're golfers, man. We're weird.
Sponsored by Majestic Oaks at Lake Lawn Resort.
Yeah, I don't care too much about other things outside of golf.
And Gruber Law Office's one call, that's all.
I've tried to talk myself into a number of different people, whether that's Bryson, whether that's John Rahm. But I just keep coming back to Scotty, man.
You're going to do it?
Yeah.
Alongside PGA Tour Live Stephen Watson, here's Gabe Neitzel.
Want to cozy it up. Don't need to make it. 2 putts.
It is on the tee, and we are live at the Wisconsin Country Club, also known as home to myself and Stephen Watson, as this is where we play our home golf. I got around in today. You were out here playing with some pals on Friday.
Yeah.
You were out here before the show.
We were out grinding with the kiddos.
With the kids.
Yeah, trying to get my daughter, who's 3 years old, to understand, right hand low. Turns out 3-year-olds are not very coachable.
Well, I mean, maybe she's like Spieth. She wants to go left hand though.
Yeah, maybe I'm trying to force her into being a righty. I don't know.
Oh, maybe she's a lefty, Steve.
Yeah, maybe she needs lessons from Uncle Gabe.
Hey, I am more than available at a very affordable rate.
Okay.
At a very affordable rate.
We'll talk about that.
But we do love the Wisconsin Country Club. Again, Stephen was just talking about. You hear us talk about it every week. I love the practice area that we have because it's not just the range. We have 2 different little short game areas. You were on kind of a chipping area. We've got a mid-range kind of short game area where you can work on pitch shots from 30 to 50 yards with a bunker, our putting green, just so many different options, plus a fantastic golf course that is starting to really round into shape.
Yeah, and a great patio, sitting in brand new furniture as well. Always a nice vibe out here at the Turn Bar. Golf courses, we're starting to hit peak conditions now, Gabe. It's hard to sit here and not be taking the show on the road. One of these days, we need a walk and talk 18. See how fast we can play golf in our hour-long show.
Oh, we could probably figure something out.
Okay.
We could probably figure something out.
Let's get weird.
I think we could play in an hour. You think we could play 18 an hour?
18?
Yeah.
In golf carts?
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be in golf carts.
I don't think we could play 18 in an hour. While talking?
I mean, obviously talking would have to happen.
I could walk 18, or walk 9 in an hour.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we'll do that.
Okay.
Maybe we'll figure that out.
Might be terrible content for the people listening.
Yeah, we're willing to try things here.
Yeah, why not?
On the tee. But you know what wasn't terrible content this weekend?
Ooh.
Travelers Championship.
It's never bad content out there.
No, I mean, they've had some pretty fantastic finishes, and now for the second time in the last 3 years, Keegan Bradley is walking away with some hardware. And 2 years ago, he wasn't playing... I mean, he was still playing well, but not as well in the other events that he's been playing in this year, because now he finds himself in the top 10 in the world after winning this event. And 2 years ago, he found himself after that win in the discussion of, hey, maybe Keegan makes this Ryder Cup team. Obviously, it did not happen. Now he's the captain. Now he wins. And now he firmly finds himself in the position of, are we going to see the first playing captain of our lifetimes in the Ryder Cup?
We're going to see Keegan Bradley play for Team USA. I don't know if he's going to still be the captain come September, but he's going to play.
Okay, so you say that. I don't know where I should necessarily come down, because I agree. I think he's playing.
He has to play. He's number 7 in the world right now, Gabe.
Like, even if he bottoms out, like let's say he bottoms out between now and the Ryder Cup, and realistically, in the PGA Tour season, in the events that actually matter, like for him, I mean, their season is only another month and a half, 2 months, right? Between what they have in,
we're done signature events.
We're done with signature events. They obviously have the playoff events. There's one major, and they're wrapped up by the end of September, and then, or excuse me, by the end of August, and then you've got a month there where he's not going to be playing in events leading into the Ryder Cup. I can't imagine him not qualifying or not, but he would have to pick himself is also part of the issue, is he would have to pick himself. So let's go ahead and listen to what he had to say in his press conference after the events on Sunday afternoon.
If you'd have been told a year ago when you accepted the job that at this point you'd be number 7 in the world, would that have surprised you?
Well, not. I don't know. It's the lowest I've ever been in the world. When they called me and told me that I was being the Ryder Cup captain, the first thing they said was, "We want you to be the first playing captain since Arnold Palmer in 1962." And my head was spinning. I didn't know what they were talking about, but they knew that was a possibility and that we would have things in place for that. But I'm always trying to be the best that I can be, and I feel like I'm playing the best golf of my career right now. And, a year ago, I don't know if I would have thought I'd be 7th in the world, but I certainly thought I'd be, contending in tournaments. Well, when the PGA of America called me,
Yes.
Zach Johnson was on the call.
So the gist of it is, and I don't know if they were joking, if they were, hey, we're hoping that you're, going to be a playing captain there, Keegan. Like, it seems like he's at least taking that somewhat seriously. And he would go on and later say in that press conference, Stephen, that if he is going, so the evolution of this is, when he was announced as captain, he initially said, I would not pick myself. However, if I qualify on the points, then I qualify on points. And everyone thought, okay, that makes sense. But we're now at a point where, even though he's now a top 10 player in the world, he's number 7, it still would be kind of difficult. You probably need another win in a playoff event, or, if he wins the British Open, then he's on the team. Like, winning a major in a Ryder Cup year, the way it's set up points-wise, it is really hard to miss. I think of Brooks Koepka in 2023.
Yeah.
Like, he almost qualified on points despite only playing the 4 majors.
JJ Spawn is number 3 right now on the rankings.
And JJ, basically his JJ winning a major and finishing second at the Players, which is another big money event.
Yep.
Like, that almost guarantees his spot in that top 6 because of the way points get. It's the dollars count 1.5 times for the points in majors. So winning a major is just so advantageous because they're the biggest purses in all of professional golf. So he would still have work to do in order to get into the top 6, Keegan would. But he's playing so well right now, and I know we've only been doing 6 captains picks for a while, but it's not hard to fathom him being at 7 or 8. And those positions, 7 and 8, the last 2 years since they've gone to the 6 picks, they've always made the team. And he would go on to say then, okay, if I think he could help the team, then maybe he would start picking himself, and he would still be the captain. He would just ask more of his assistants.
He has 5 top 10s and 1 win in 15 starts this year. Keegan Bradley's on the team, Gabe.
Yeah, and he should be on the team.
There's one question and one question only. Can a player be a player captain on the Ryder Cup in today's age?
So that's
the only thing that matters at this point.
And that's the tough part. So the only time we've seen somebody be a playing captain was in 18 or 19, when Tiger was the playing captain at the President's Cup down in Australia.
Yeah. Arnold Palmer is the last to do it.
In the Ryder Cup in 1962. So we saw Tiger do it, but the President's Cup, while similar, like the format's a little bit different. More guys are playing, there's more points available, it's spread out over multiple days, so you're not going, back-to-back days of 2 different sessions. So it's, we just have this group out there. You don't have to then, the reevaluating of everything kind of happens after the round, and then you put out your groups for the next day. So there's less that the captain has to do during the rounds, right? Because so there's just so many things going on. I don't know if you can in today's day and age. I think it would be incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
And I don't know who has that conversation with Keegan of, hey, either you're going to be on the team or we have to have a different captain.
I think he'd be setting himself up to fail if he remains the captain and plays in the Ryder Cup. I just think in today's day and age, with the scrutiny that comes from the media, from players, with where Keegan's at in his career, he will be a Ryder Cup captain moving forward if he wants to be.
Yeah.
If he wants to play, I think he needs to focus on being the player, and I think he needs to give up his captaincy in order to play and focus on playing and winning, because ultimately the only thing that matters is Team USA winning, and his number one job is to play if he's going to play and not to do both. He doesn't need to be a hero. The PGA of America can make changes. Keegan can be okay with those changes. There has to be an understanding between the two. Like, if you want to play, we want you to play, and you can be a captain anytime moving forward. But
I think that's the tough part, right?
I don't think you can do both, and I would hope that I don't know Keegan well enough to know if his ego would force him to want to do both, but I think ultimately Keegan cares so much about winning the Ryder Cup that he would rather play in it as a winner than be a captain of a winning team. And it's about time he opens that suitcase and sees what that mold is all about. And and he can go play.
All about.
And Gabe, we haven't even talked about, we might get the scenario we always wanted. Tiger Woods at Bethpage as the captain, Keegan playing.
So
we want the best team out there. Keegan would make it the best team right now. Have Tiger captain. All the media stuff is done. And,
so in terms
let's go win this thing.
In terms of like realistic people, I think you could replace him with this late in the game. Tiger would certainly be on that list. It seemed, in the grand scheme of things, you know, a lot of these things get planned out pretty far in advance. Like, we had a sneaky, I think everybody had a feeling that our guy Strick was going to be the captain at Whistling Straits in 2020, which turned out to be 2021. Obviously, everything with Liv threw a lot of this into doubt. I think Phil was supposed to be the captain for this.
Of course.
It feels like this was supposed to be
Well, guess
Phil's.
what, Gabe? Things change.
And
just like things have changed.
Well, but then they wanted Tiger, and Tiger said no. So they had to pivot and go to Keegan. And part of Tiger, especially now as he's dealing with the Achilles injury, was not wanting to deal with all the media obligations and all the run-up, which is basically done now. So I do think, and because he has previous captain's experience at the President's Cup, as we mentioned, I think Tiger would be. Jim Furyk is an assistant captain, so I think it didn't work out well for him in Paris in 2018, but he has captaincy experience. And I know his health really affected him. But I think Stricker, if we're seriously considering other people to step in, Steve Stricker would have to be on that short list.
I don't think Steve is going to do it ever again. I think he had his Hollywood script in Wisconsin at Whistling Straits, had a really scary health scare, likely due to the anxiety and stress that he had going through that. He admitted that. I think Strick is done, and I hope he's
But if
done.
I'm the PGA of America, like, I at least have to ask. That was the captain of the most dominant victory in this event of all time.
Sure. Like, ask away.
I have to.
Maybe he wants to be a vice captain and help a Brandt Snedeker or a Jim Furyk.
I got to make sure you say no before I, ask Zach Johnson to do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, Steve, things have changed since last year.
So I think it would be better off if Keegan played and was not the captain. What I am fearful of right now is that he is going to try to do both.
Yeah.
Because that, again, you get caught up in the emotions of winning the events, being the 7th-ranked player in the world, now being in the top 10 of Ryder Cup points in terms of ranking, with 7 and 8 certainly in your sights. Your emotions just get caught up, and you say, oh, yeah, I would still be the captain. But maybe after a little bit of time talking, and the other interesting thing about this is the current PGA leadership that runs things on the U.S. side of the Ryder Cup, that's not the same leadership that asked him to be the captain a year ago.
Yep.
They've gone leadership changes, so that kind of makes things, I think, interesting in terms of how comfortable are they going to Keegan and going, hey, bud, We need you to focus on one thing or the other. And I think that's a difficult conversation to have now as well because
it's a difficult one, but it's also an awesome one for Keegan. He never envisioned himself being in this position a year ago.
But I mean,
we did for him.
Yeah, and I know we can make it up as we go along because it's an exhibition.
Yeah.
But it's not like he's in the top 6. You know what I'm saying? And I think if you want a new captain, we can't do that after the teams are selected.
Yeah.
I think you want to have somebody laying the groundwork right now, so you just have to make the special exemption of, hey, Keegan, we'll give you Adair Manor if you want. I mean, I don't know what's after Adair Manor 4 years from now, whichever one's the next one at home.
It's back in Hazeltine.
Is it Hazeltine?
Yeah.
Hey, if you want Hazeltine, we'll give you Hazeltine. We're going to take the captaincy away from you now. You can be the captain at one of the next 2. And even though you're not in the top 6, we're guaranteeing your spot right now. I think that's, and again, you're making special rules up, but who cares?
You're talking about a guy who's played on past Ryder Cup teams.
I don't think I don't think anybody's going to throw a fuss.
Exactly.
On the U.S. side.
I think it eliminates the most stress in that scenario because if he tries to be the player captain, it becomes about Keegan, and whether or not he likes that, it's going to be about Keegan.
Without a doubt.
If they lose, it's because he tried to do both. If they win, look what Keegan did, not what Team USA did.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately that's what we have to protect ourselves from.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's best for everybody involved. Keegan, you got to make a decision, bud. If you want to still be the captain, fine. But then this thought of playing, you can't do it.
You can't. I can't imagine there's a single player out there who would have a problem with Keegan Bradley being named the 7th member right now.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what it comes down to.
So
and it keeps him hungry to want to play his best golf going in, now knowing what he can focus on.
Whoever the new captain is, you only get 5 captains picks. You got the 6 qualifiers plus Keegan because we had to make this deal happen.
Yeah, and nobody's going to complain about that.
I don't think anybody
We drag our feet and get closer to this. The story only builds, the drama builds, and you set yourself up to fail from a captaincy standpoint and from a player standpoint. But this is a no-brainer, in my opinion.
If you had to predict right now, is he a captain, is he the player, or is he both?
He's the player.
I think both. I think he's going to give it up, and I don't have enough faith in the PGA leadership. Again, PGA separate from PGA Tour.
Yeah.
So I don't have enough faith in the PGA leadership to go to him and say, hey, and basically the entire scenario we just laid out.
Let me flip it on you.
Okay.
You think he's going to do both? Mm-hmm. Does that mean he picks himself, or does he automatically qualify? Because he's
going to pick himself. Because still to automatically qualify, he would have to win again. Like he would have to either win. What? He would have to win.
He's the defending champ at the BMW. He's going to rock it this week, where he's one of only 2 players that are top 10 in the world.
He would have to win
Detroit.
A playoff event or the British to probably get himself into the 6th spot. Which is still, again, he's the 7th ranked player in the world. It is certainly a possibility, but I think that.
Gosh, I hope you're wrong. I hope we don't have a player captain.
Yeah, but I think he's going to pick himself, and he would be right to pick himself because he is one of the 12 best not even just the 12 best Americans, because I don't think that's what you want either.
Yeah.
But I think he's one of the 12 best individuals that you want on that team.
I think that he deserves to be on the team.
Yes.
But if he picks himself as a captain and he tries to do both, it sets a very dangerous precedent moving forward. And
I don't know if it does, because I don't know if we're going to be in this position again.
If they just continue to go with young guys as the future captains, who knows?
But are they? I mean, because, again, somebody that they're looking at, and we can always look at the President's Cup of, okay, who are they kind of trying to groom? Like, Strick was the captain out at Liberty National, before he became the captain of the Ryder Cup, so they used the President's Cup. Like, Brandt Snedeker is somebody that they might be looking at for future Ryder Cups. Brandt Snedeker's playing days are done. Tiger Woods is going to be a captain very soon for Team USA. Tiger ain't qualifying for this team, as much as it hurts me to say, anytime ever again. It's just not going to happen. And, I guess then we'll find out where we're at, 12 years from now. And
Tiger's about to be a captain real soon. That's how soon.
He's
4 months soon.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Adair Manor.
No.
Just because of J.P. McManus.
I want Tiger at Bethpage so badly. Let's give the people what they want. The original script.
By the people, you mean you.
Yeah. Who wouldn't want Tiger as a captain at Bethpage?
Look, I agree with you. I just don't know.
He doesn't have to make any decisions. He's just the face.
Yeah.
And it takes the pressure off Keegan.
Yeah,
it's about the players, right? This is like an NBA coach.
Well, okay.
Well,
but okay.
You got to go out there and win. It's about the players
made,
going out there and performing. There's only so much you can do to set the players up for success.
I take a look at and I try to figure out with the Ryder Cup. Okay, I'll explain this in just a little bit because we're starting to
We've got these things called commercial breaks.
Yeah, and now you've got me on the Ryder Cup. You've tried to avoid it all season long, and now you've got me going on it.
Well, if there's ever a show to do it, Captain Keegan making things spicy.
Live from the Wisconsin Country Club, but another place we like to go hang out, of course, Erin Hills, Golf Digest, 10th ranked public course in the nation. Charming overnight accommodations and a championship golf experience. Erin Hills, modern course whose foundations were laid eons ago. Literally, the amount of dirt that they've had to move out there is it's so minuscule.
Yeah.
Because it's a natural golf course. We love it so much. Erin Hills, championship golf right here in Wisconsin. Plan your trip today at erinhills.com. More Ryder Cup talk coming up next on the tee.
Back to the course and on the tee with Gabe and Steven after this on 94.5 ESPN. An in-depth conversation with the father of former Packers cornerback Jair Alexander.
If the Green Bay Packers offered a contract comparable with what the Ravens contract was offered, would he still be a Packer today?
Yes.
Wow.
His injury last year, I guarantee you 100%, had they taken that injury seriously when it happened, he would have been back for the stretch of the season at the end.
Listen back to the whole conversation on the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app or on ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hi, I'm David Gruber. When you've been seriously injured, you need the best team of professionals on your side. Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices to get the results you deserve. One call, that's all.
Want to play your best golf ever? The Wisconsin Country Club just launched WCC Performance Academy, powered by Catalyst Golf Performance and Aritas Physical Therapy. TrackMan, 3D Motion, Miha EMS, everything to move better, feel stronger, and shoot lower scores. Train like a pro or like an athlete. Play pain-free. I'm ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. Become a member at Wisconsin Country Club like I did. No assessments, no minimums, and a beautiful, challenging course and great corporate membership opportunities, plus tennis, pickleball, and a pool. Visit thewisconsincountryclub.com. Just a fairway away.
Get the best quality Dutch Boy paints for your painting project at Menards. Max Bond Plus exterior paint and primer is designed to stand strong against weather extremes. It provides max adhesion, hide, and performance while repelling rain in just 90 minutes after application. And with Dutch Boy's high-performing paints that last, transforming your home has never been easier. Save big money on Dutch Boy paints and head into Menards to get your paint project started today.
Save big money at Menards.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
The Protect the Package golf outing takes place on August 16 at Ironwood Golf Course. Come be a part of the most unique outing in the state while helping loved ones battle cancer. Proceeds benefit the This Time Tomorrow Foundation. Sign up your foursome at thistimetomorrow.org under the Events tab.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel. This is not a drill. If you sink a hole-in-one at X Golf inside American Family Field, you could win the ultimate Brewers prize, a trip down Bernie's slide. Nail the shot, and you and a friend will get game tickets and up to 5 trips down that iconic slide. Yep, golf a hole-in-one, and suddenly you're living every fan's childhood dream. Book your swing at X Golf inside American Family Field, open to the public 7 days a week. Book now at playxgolf.com.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
We know that the people of Wisconsin are hard workers, that they're tough. But even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
This is On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
Live at the Wisconsin Country Club. Find out more by joining the WisconsinCountryClub.com. You can join and become members just like Steven and I have. I'm excited. Member coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Our member guest, which Steven bailed on, is coming up later this summer.
I have played in it each of the last 3 years with my dad. He couldn't make the trip out. I have to work. Otherwise, I'd be out here.
Yeah.
Don't say I bailed.
Well, yeah, you're working. You decided to work instead.
Sorry. Got to pay for diapers, man. Got to pay for golf lessons for my kids because they won't take them from me.
No, they certainly won't. But we love it out here. Again, Steven just mentioned it, great for the family. I love it because of all the different practice areas we have, plus the beautiful golf course. Find out more at thewisconsincountryclub.com, just a fairway away. But we were also talking about Keegan Bradley and what is he going to do. Is he going to be a playing captain? Is he going to relinquish the captaincy in hopes of getting a captaincy later down the road? And we're on the same page of we want him to play and not be the captain. And here for me, here's why. Thinking about how Team USA has had this love-hate thing going on with the Ryder Cup, and they've played so well at home. They've struggled on the road. And 2018, they struggled on the road. I think part of that was, Tiger was just gassed as an older man as he had just won. And some of the captain's picks didn't end up working out. And then you had Pat Reed on that team who just completely just decided to submarine his own captain.
Captain America before it was cool.
Yeah, before. But then I think of what Strick did. And to a man, I think of when the 12 of them were sitting up in the press conference after Team USA won by the largest margin anybody ever has in the history of this event. And they were asked, would you want Steve Stricker back? And Dustin Johnson goes, absolutely. And, okay, why was DJ so quick to respond? And in the run-up, it seemed like he was trying to take as much pressure off the players, and he wore it himself. And he wore all of those responsibilities, tried to get them in the best possible mindset to play. Doesn't seem like that's what Zach Johnson did. We just talked about, okay, if Keegan decides to be this player captain, then it kind of becomes more about Keegan. This last Ryder Cup, and maybe I'm having revisionist history after watching Full Swing and the way that all played out. It seemed like ZJ made it a lot about himself. And I didn't like that either.
Yeah.
So that's why I hope that Keegan would relinquish. But I don't know if he actually will.
I just think the pressure to perform is so great in that event. There's no event like it in golf. And so to put that pressure on yourself as a player and a captain, I mean, it just sets you up to fail. I wouldn't see why Keegan would want to do both.
Yeah.
I just can't fathom wanting that type of weight on your shoulders, knowing that hasn't happened since the 60s. In a time when the game was so different than it is today.
Yes.
And the media culture and, the magnitude and what it means for your legacy. I don't think we've ever doubted how much Keegan cares. But I hope he doesn't care.
Which is why we were excited about him being the captain in the first place.
But I hope he doesn't care too much when it comes to this decision about, thinking he can do it by himself. Because I think that's part of the culture that we've missed, is that everybody has to be on board. And I think that even if players were to be supportive of him outwardly being a player captain, that would be the chatter in the team room is, can you believe he's doing this?
So right now, the top 6, Scotty, who's already qualified because he's got that many points, cannot fall out of the top 6. Xander, J.J. Spawn, Russell Henley, Bryson, and JT. I think those 6 are locks.
Yeah. And I'm excited about those 6. I mean, JJ's, he has to be there just on points. But I'm excited about the way Henley's playing. I mean, gosh, he almost backdoored his way into a playoff.
I got to tell you,
on Sunday.
The fact that now, in the 2 tournaments where he's been the one that he won, and now the one that he's been closest into, he's chipping in like that. Can you imagine him chipping in a crucial moment at Bethpage Black. Like, this dude's short game is unbelievable. He's exactly what I want on that team. I think Colin's a lock. Colin Morikawa, he's just outside. I think Keegan's a lock. I think those are the 8s that I feel strongest about right now.
Without question.
And so that's why Keegan has to be on this team. Like, the back end of this roster is not going to be pretty. It's going to be.
But I'm starting to feel better about the front end.
Oh, I'm feeling
the
so
middle,
much
the
better.
Middle
yes,
group.
yeah,
Even
the
2
middle
weeks
4.
ago.
Oh, honestly, and you could talk me.
I had to make you stop talking because I didn't want you to stress so much.
You could talk me into feeling good about JJ Spawn here any moment too. Like it's being part of that meaty, that
anybody
5
who
through
plays
8s.
the game of golf knows how streaky it can be.
Yeah.
And all it takes is a little belief, and we've seen that out of JJ this season.
But the point being, like, the last 4 is still yee.
Yeah.
And
but
like
you could argue the last couple were kind of at Whistling Straits too, and they just didn't lose too badly. Right, like Harris English and Tony Finau, they were kind of the bottom
last
feeders.
person on that team was Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, I know. But, yeah, he beat
retrospect-
Rahm in a singles match, and his whole legacy changed. But those guys just did enough. They got a couple of points. You just can't go over.
Sure. But what I'm saying is, like, Keegan, the player, is so much more valuable to Team USA than Keegan, the captain.
100%. I don't even think it's close.
Yeah, because the players are the ones that ultimately have to go out there and perform.
And Stricker talked about that. It joked about it. Like, I remember at his press conference at Whistling Straits, him and Padraig Harrington both being like, I mean, is there a worse gig in all of sports than just
all this work?
You put all this work in, you win, and it's about Team USA winning, and if you lose, it's about the captain losing. Right? There's nothing like it. Look at how we talk about ZJ.
Yeah, I mean, but I kind of talked about ZJ before he was the captain too. Like,
not
he was
like
kinda,
this.
Yeah, but you had suspicions, and then the more ZJ talked, the more
Even
you
Tom
kind of...
Watson. Think about the golfer versus the Ryder Cup captain.
Yeah, Tom Watson did not do himself any favors in 2014. 0 favors done in 2014.
Why does Keegan want that?
Well, because he accepted it because he didn't think that he was going to be able to play his way on the team, which is why I think he
thought
also
it's a boys
said,
club, which is fair.
Well, which is why he also said at the beginning, hey, if I qualify, but I'm not going to pick myself. Because he thought, like he said, he was going to be competitive in golf tournaments.
Yeah.
But ultimately in 2023, he won a golf tournament, and it's not like he made a case so strong that he had to be picked. He was in a group
BMW.
of guys.
That wasn't like winning John Deere. He won a massive event.
He won a big event, but also he won the BMW last year. I'm talking about 2023.
Oh, 23.
23, he also won the Rocket Mortgage. Or not the Rocket. Rocket Mortgage is on TV.
Yeah, he won
the Travelers.
Travelers, yeah.
He won Travelers as well in 2023.
Yes.
So he was playing well, but he didn't, grab a spot. He was in a group of a handful of guys that the spots could have gone to. He has grabbed a spot now. And I don't think he thought that he was going to be capable of doing that because much like we talked about with J.J. Spawn a couple of weeks ago, like for JJ, it was a slow progression, right? And this is the way golf careers used to be, where guys, it took you a while, and then maybe once you hit 30, 31, 32, then you started playing your peak golf because you knew how to play the game. And then young guys like Jordan Spieth started winning all the time, and we thought it was a young man's game. And honestly, Keegan was one of those guys. His first PGA Tour win was his only major championship. He's not supposed to be playing his best golf now when he's in his 40s.
Well,
and he didn't think that either.
That's what makes this game so unique. Is how Phil Mickelson won
at 51.
At 50.
Yeah, 51 years old.
The more I think about this, the more I hope Keegan has the awareness to separate the two, because I didn't even like the soundbite that we heard earlier when he started it by saying they came to me and they said they want me to be a player captain. I didn't like how he answered Amanda Balionis' question on Sunday where he said, go Team USA. We don't need to make more drama out of this than there needs to be. They need to make a decision, and they need to move forward. And I'm all for Keegan being the player. I just don't think he should be both.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if that ends up being the decision or not. But also, one of the other side stories of this week, Tommy Fleetwood.
Poor lad.
Couldn't get the job done. We hear from him and discuss Tommy coming up next, but I do want to tell you about our friends at X Golf at American Family Field, because you don't need a private party or fancy credentials to play golf inside AmFam Field, because X Golf is open to the public. every Brewers home game. That's right. Whether you're a walk-up or you planned ahead, you can tee off in a high-tech golf simulator with a perfect view of the field. Every seat has table service and the vibe's immaculate. Food, drinks, big swings, all without missing a pitch. Book your next game day round at X Golf inside American Family Field. It's open to the public 7 days a week.
Forget about changing that dial. More On the Tee with Gabe and Steven next on 94.5 ESPN.
With a dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, we've been serving businesses, organizations, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Experience the difference with Fifth Third Bank. National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hey, golf enthusiasts! Discover a hidden lakeside course in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin at Majestic Oaks. Tee off on a course with over 2 miles of lakefront where wide fairways and challenging greens await. It's an 18-hole golfing experience like no other. Join them for the best family golf nights in the state where everyone can enjoy the game together. Golf, cart, drinks, and snacks for under $15 a person and several membership options for you to find the perfect fit for your lifestyle. Ready to play? Book your tee time today at lakelawnresort.com. Majestic Oaks Golf Course, where your best game awaits.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh, and if you're a homeowner like me, you know how it goes. There's always a project that needs attention, and sometimes the big ones, like replacing old windows, get pushed to the bottom of the list. But I'm telling you, this is the time to finally check that box with Universal Windows Direct. They're running their home improvement season sale, and the offer is just too good to pass up. You can get payments as low as $99 a month or no payments and no interest for an entire year. Call 414-410-2000 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com.
Truck drivers, are you tired of an outdated truck hurting your paychecks? At Schneider, we add new trucks to our fleet every year to keep drivers moving and racking up the miles. Our easy-to-use technology is designed to keep you safe and comfortable while also boosting your income potential. So, are you ready to get behind the wheel of a more reliable ride? Find jobs near you and apply now at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Hey guys, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here to give you some advice. If you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, the Jewelry Center has to be your stop for the win. It's what I did. They're the best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. I didn't know what to get, but with help of a Pinterest board, the Jewelry Center and their team of specialists took care of everything from start to finish. Naturally mined diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, whatever you're in the market for, when it comes to an engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. Find locations and inventory online at shoptjc.com.
This is On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
Discover a hit it in the Lakeside course in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin at Majestic Oaks. Tee off on a course with over 2 miles of lakefront where wide fairways and challenging greens await. This Lakeside 18-hole course offers a golfing experience like no other. Our favorite part. Now, Stephen and I did get the opportunity to go down there and play. And, again, the challenging greens, that is an understatement.
Postage stamp.
Whew, and they got a lot of undulation. Usually when it's the postage stamp, it's small and flat. That is not the case at Majestic Oaks. But the best family golf nights in the state. Everyone can enjoy the game together. Cart, golf, drinks, snacks under $15 per person. If you are ready to play, book your tee time today. LakeLawnResort.com and Majestic Oaks Golf Course. I was actually playing with somebody out here today at the Wisconsin Country Club, Gabe, Neitzel, Stephen Watson. We were playing our Red Coat match, which is our big two-man bracket year-long match. And we had to make sure we got it. It's kind of early in the window to try to get it in because one of the people I was playing against is getting married down at Lake Lawn Resort this weekend. So great. They're playing 9 holes before the wedding.
That's a good place to have a wedding.
Yeah.
Right on Lake Delavan.
Right on Lake Delavan.
Play a little golf with the boys right before it. Yeah.
Hard to beat.
I need to come closer with Steven. Should have gotten the invite. I would officiate. Why not?
Why not? We are hanging out at the Wisconsin Country Club. Find out more at thewisconsincountryclub.com, just a fairway away. But we talked a lot about Keegan Bradley. The other storyline here, Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah.
Tommy Lad.
Tommy.
Who has not won on the PGA Tour. It's just so strange because he's won some pretty significant events on the European Tour.
Yeah.
He has been a stalwart.
8 international wins.
And an unbelievable player in the Ryder Cup. Went 5-0 back in 2018 with Francesco Molinari.
He could be a player captain.
Like, he has been, maybe. But for whatever reason, and this was the weird part for me, because, like, I've heard that narrative, and a lot of times with Tommy, he plays well, but he's not in control of a golf tournament the way he was to start the day on Sunday. He was up by 3. And I thought, okay, he's going to do it. He's finally going to do it because he's used to, we just listed off all those accolades. This dude has played and performed under pressure. Well, I got off to a shaky start. Righted the ship, had a one-shot lead going into 18. Keegan, to his credit, stuffs it. But before that...
Keegan's a dog.
Yeah, well, again, another reason why I want him as a player on the Ryder Cup.
He's a dog.
Tommy has indecision from the fairway. 9-iron or wedge. Hits wedge, comes up short.
Yeah.
Putt that he hits ends up right behind Keegan's ball mark, giving him a perfect read. Misses the putt, and we have the 2-shot swing. He bogeys. Keegan birdies to win. And our Gem of the Week, I really love this. Gem of the Week brought to you by our friends at the Jewelry Center. ShopTJC.com. Whatever you're in the market for when it comes to a diamond engagement ring, lab-grown diamond, naturally mined diamond, Dean the Dancing Machine, and the team, the helpful team at the Jewelry Center, always going to point you in the right direction. The Gem of the Week brought to you by the Jewelry Center is Tommy talking after the round.
I think... when it sort of calms down, I'm upset now, I'm gutted, I'm angry. When it calms down, look at the things that I did well, look at the things that I can learn from. I said yesterday, I haven't been in this position all year, so it's been a while. I felt like I did a lot of good things, but there was things that I, definitely can do better, and I have to do better. So, I did plenty of things well enough this week to win, and I didn't do that. It hurts, but when it calms down, the most stupid thing to do and the worst thing to do would be make a week like this a hindrance to what you do going forwards. I obviously played great. I put myself in a great position. I was leading the tournament with 71 holes. I just want to make sure that I can put myself in this position as soon as possible again, and try and correct what I did this time. But like I say, right now I would love to. Just go and sulk somewhere, and maybe I will do, but there's just no point making it a negative for the future, really, and take the positives and move on.
Man, let me tell you what, Gabe. If you weren't a forever fan of Tommy Fleetwood before that, I hope you are now. You could hear his voice was quivering.
Yeah.
The emotion still so raw from watching another one fall out of his hands. Still made time for the media, which is I think why you made it the gem of the week, because it's not so hard.
And it wasn't just that he made time for the media.
He was eloquent. He was thoughtful. He was respectful.
To be that thoughtful in the responses you're giving during the biggest disappointment of his season.
Throw it up maybe of his career.
Maybe.
Just given how big of a tournament it was.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people forget when Nick Taylor made that playoff putt at the RBC Canadian in his home country, that playoff was against Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, Tommy was on the other side of that one.
And he's been really close. I mean, 42 top 10s without a win. That's unfortunately the ghosts that are following him right now. He's put himself in that runner-up position, I think, 5 times now in his career. I believe Tommy will get it done at some point. And hearing that sound made me believe it even more. The way he talks about not allowing it to be a hindrance. Like, what an incredible outlook. That's somebody you can easily root for. And I hope he gets it done sooner than later, because it's going to make it feel that much sweeter for Tommy Ladd.
It really is. And we ran down his accolades. We talked about how good he is when it comes to, again, being in the Ryder Cup. He's used to these high-pressure situations. Like, him inexplicably misclubbing and going back down to the pitching wedge. I don't know if he thought that the wind was behind him more than it was, or he thought he was going to feel some adrenaline. And then the putt he hit to not get that to the hole was, again, that or you or me or any other amateur, it's understandable. When you're one of the best professional golfers in the world, the way Tommy Fleetwood is, it's like, this pressure is kind of getting to you. It doesn't change my opinion of Tommy Fleetwood.
No.
Like, in terms of how I think of him as a player, he's still a world-class player. He's one of the best players in the world.
He's still fairway Jesus to me.
Was part of me rooting for him? Well, I guess not rooting for him to lose, but rooting for Keegan to win, because I thought that'd be a lot more interesting in terms of the conversation we had earlier in the show.
It was good for the hashtag content.
Yeah, because Tommy Fleetwood's status in this game is pretty solidified.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be on the Ryder Cup team in perpetuity. Like, I can't imagine him falling off that much where he's going to be one of those just solid guys that's always there. So he's a guy that, British Open's coming up. I'll probably pick Tommy Fleetwood. Like, he is on that short list of names of, even though he hasn't won a major, you can talk yourself pretty realistically into him winning a major. Keegan, on the other hand, re-emerging into that conversation was a lot more interesting, because my thoughts now on Keegan are a little bit different versus what they are in Tommy, because Tommy is that solid of a player somehow, despite never winning on the PGA Tour.
Thrilled for Keegan, gutted for Tommy. I mean, you can be both with that finish on Sunday.
Yeah.
And Tommy at Portrush.
Did he?
Kind of sounds fun, doesn't it?
Do you think Tommy's ball hit something?
Yeah, but I don't know if it moved the ball enough. That just looked like a straight push.
Yeah, because halfway there, it kind of
it definitely hit a little pebble.
Offline a little bit.
People are saying that it was a ball marker, but it might have been like a little rock in the sand. His ball definitely wiggled, but his ball, I think, was already dipping right.
Right anyway.
Probably it goes from lipping out to just missing the cup entirely.
I've probably watched it too much where I've gone full circle on it.
Because you're looking for it.
Because, I see it, I'm like, clearly that, and then I watch it long enough of, maybe it didn't hit anything.
Yeah.
I
know you're a worm cam connoisseur now.
I am. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Number one fan of the worm cam. If I could get a worm cam hat, I could. I'd wear it every day.
Get you a block letter worm. But I think what Sunday showed is just how hard it is to win at that level.
Yeah.
And
that you can be a player of Tommy's caliber, who's won worldwide and won big events worldwide, and the pressure can still get to you.
Yeah, they're human, and but not many humans respond in the manner in which Tommy did.
Yeah,
and that's why I am a forever fan of that man.
Yeah, that is certainly the gem of the week. We've heard us talk about it all day long. We're out here at the Wisconsin Country Club hanging out. It's where Steven and I both belong. But you should be joining out here as well. No assessments, no food and beverage minimums, just an incredible, challenging course. Top-tier amenities like tennis, pickleball, and a pool. I had lunch out here after my round today. Great lunch. Again, the Turn Bar, I think, is one of the best places to hang out in all of golf in the Milwaukee area. So check it out today, thewisconsincountryclub.com, just a fairway away. Steven has something that he has not told me about for our Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All. That's coming up next on the Tee.
No ifs, ands, or puts. There's more On the Tee with Gabe and Steven coming up on 94.5 ESPN. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is back at the Bog. Tune in all day July 15th for our ESPN Milwaukee crew having fun and hitting the links. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is sponsored by Marquette Athletics, PCI Construction, Discount Liquor, Loyal Family Renovations, The Jewelry Center, and Tony Wendorf and Associates. Join in on the fun July 15th on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
What's up, kiddos? Clinton Yates here. Coming up on Monday, we'll react to the clinching Game 7 in the NBA Finals and fill you in on everything you might have missed from the weekend. That's Monday on Clinton and Friends at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Michelle Smallman.
The way I see it is we sucked tonight. That's what Thunder superstar Shai Gilgeous-Alexander said after OKC lost 108-91 to the Indiana Pacers in last night's Game 6 of the NBA Finals. So what happened? Oklahoma City had 21 turnovers. The MVP, SGA, he had 8 of those, which matched the most in a finals game in at least 40 years. And Jalen Williams, the Thunder were outscored by 40 points during his 27 minutes. The Pacers were dominant and relentless. Obi Toppin came off the bench should be their leading scorer with 20 points, and he described the Pacers' approach perfectly when he said, "We are just super resilient and we're hungry." Tyrese Halliburton was the story coming into this one. He was a game-time decision leading up to Game 6 because of that strained right calf. He finished with 14 points and 5 assists in 23 minutes, and now it all comes down to the two best words in sports, Game 7. Which version of OKC will we get, Game 5 or Game 6 Thunder? Can the Pacers pull off what so many people didn't think they were capable of? We're going to find out Sunday night, 8 p.m. on ABC and ESPN Radio. In 60 seconds, what's the latest with Kevin Durant?
Level up your summer projects with 4th of July savings on top brand cordless power tools from the Home Depot. Whether you're working on a fence, a planter box, or a new workbench, get the power and runtime you need with the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2 toolkit from the Home Depot for only $99, was $139. Get 4th of July savings on the cordless power you need to make summer projects easier than ever. Right now at the Home Depot.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
In other NBA news, many thought there would be a resolution to this by now, but we are still on Kevin Durant watch, and there are no clear signs pointing to where his future basketball home may be. ESPN NBA insider Shams Charania reported that the Suns clearly have a price threshold that they want met and that it's kind of a game of chicken at this point. He went on to say that from the Rockets to the Heat to the Timberwolves, it's literally one or two pieces away either which way that can get a deal done. And if this is a game of chicken, which side blinks first, the Suns or the teams trying to acquire KD? My money is on Phoenix. With the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Michelle Smallman.
Transform the way you do business with Fifth Third Bank's Commercial Payments Solutions. Our market expertise and managed services streamline your entire payment process, seamlessly integrating with your existing systems to give you unparalleled control. Discover new revenue sources, save time, reduce operating costs, and boost your bottom line with our customized payment solutions. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
This is On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
Unforgettable holes, 250 acres of natural private land. The Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. Book your next tee time today. Call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog. We've been hanging out all day at the Wisconsin Country Club, doing On the Tee live from out here, the home course of myself and Stephen Watson. And you've got a question for me for our One Call That's All this week, Stephen.
So Tommy Ladd has not gotten it done.
Yep.
We're going to remove him from the question.
Okay.
Who is the best player without a PGA Tour win right now?
Ooh, best player without a PGA Tour
We've done this
win.
game without a major, but I want a PGA Tour win.
I mean, because obviously Tommy's the answer there. Is it Cam Young? I'd probably say I think my next default would be Cam Young.
Yeah, that's probably where most heads would go.
Yeah, and he's starting to play better as of late. He's qualified for a President's Cup team before, so he's certainly been up there. That's where I kind of lean. I think I would say Cam Young.
Yeah, I mean, very close at the Open Championship where Cam Smith was the winner. He finished runner-up. Remember, he drove 18. That was pretty fun. I got a name that I feel like always flies under the radar, but this year he's kind of proving why, because he's regarded as the best putter on planet Earth, and that's Denny McCarthy.
Okay.
And I feel like he should have one with how good of a putter he is at this point in his career. I mean, he's in every single signature event. He just kind of floats in that top 30.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think he'd get one of these days, and I can't really wrap my head around why he hasn't gotten it done.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have an answer for you. I'm trying to think if there's like an obvious European player we're also missing. I don't think so, though, because Ludwig's got his. He's won a couple of times now. Yeah, I don't think we're missing. I think
somebody like a Ben On is a name of a guy who's been around for a long time. Just hasn't really been able to close.
Yeah.
Finds himself in signature events.
Yeah, I think I feel good about Cam Young. And I honestly, I think Cam Young, if he continues to play the way he has a really good shot at being one of those last four on the Ryder Cup team. And if he does that, I'm going to start feeling better about the bottom four of that Ryder Cup team. The talent with him is seemingly endless. I mean, it's all there.
Yeah.
I don't know why he can't see. I don't know why he can't put it together either.
I think we're going to find Cam Young on the roster. He's a New York native.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bomber.
Yeah.
Jeff Page will reward both of those things. Play to the home crowd, play to the club.
Yeah, I think. Should I be worried about Spieth at all with his injury?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be somebody to be on the Ryder Cup team, and honestly, he'd been playing well enough. I know he doesn't have a win, but he seemed to have steadied out, and he's raised up his floor a little bit in terms of his play this year. But I'm a little bit concerned of him withdrawing from his first event in his PGA Tour career.
He was starting to knock on the door of reminding us, like, hey, I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
And
he finished top 10 at the Memorial.
And I still felt like he was good enough to earn a spot on the Ryder Cup, just given his history and his partnership with Justin Thomas. But I don't feel great about where Spieth is at right now, and I don't know if he's on the roster right now.
Yeah,
at Bethpage.
If I had to say right now, I'm leaning towards no.
Yeah,
I'd be leaning towards no.
I think we're going to see 5 new faces.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
that's terrifying.
We were talking about it in the commercial break. Brooks Koepka. I don't know if he's.
But see, the thing with Brooks is he's never been a good Ryder Cup player. But he's always qualified for teams because he's a really good player. I just don't think he cares enough about the team aspect of it all.
Yeah, I don't like using the word cares. I think if you're playing in that and you don't care about it, why are you even playing golf? He might not care as much as Keegan. I just don't think he's as good as he was.
Well,
when he won a US Open.
I mean, obviously that's the biggest issue. Is he's not as good. I mean, and his results in the major.
The only guy who's gotten better on LIV is Bryson.
Yes. I think that's a pretty safe bet. Thank you to everybody out here at the Wisconsin Country Club. We will be back next week on the tee. Want to play your best golf ever? The Wisconsin Country Club just launched WCC Performance Academy, powered by Catalyst Golf Performance.